Did you know that in one Canadian community in the RCIP program, they filled up all their spots in under 10 minutes? Yes, just 10 minutes and it was over. That's how crazy the demand is for Canada's brand new Rural Community Immigration Program, or the RCIP. And in the last 2 months, so much has changed that if you don't know the latest updates, you could waste your time because you don't even have the current information. You don't want to do that. Hey friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to walk you through the latest RCIP updates from June to August 2025, community by community. I'll tell you which sectors are now closed, which ones are still open, and what rules have changed, so that you can avoid mistakes and you can increase your chances of getting in. And trust me, some of the changes are big, some are unexpected. Some communities have paused some job categories altogether. Others have set strict limits on the number so that employers can only take a certain number of applicants each year. So let's dive in, starting with North Bay in Ontario. So on August 15, 2025, North Bay introduced a new rule. Unlike how the program was when it started, when any employer could take in any number of candidates, now each designated employer can only sponsor a limited number of candidates per year. They didn't say exactly how many candidates, but this change is designed to make sure that no single employer takes all the spots. It makes sense. This rule means that smaller employers now have a better chance to bring in workers, which is good in my opinion. So you should consider applying with businesses that haven't used the RCIP yet. Those ones will give you a better chance of success because they would still have spots to fill up. For Thunder Bay, however, in August 2025, they completely paused applications in the sales and service sector. That means that there will be no new recommendations for jobs like retail workers, cashiers, call center agents, or customer service representatives. This is happening because they have too many applications, and the Local Economic Development Office, the CEDC, needed to just stop and process what they already had, which is fair. The good news, however, is that this pause only affects sales and service jobs. Jobs in construction, healthcare, manufacturing, and other skilled trades are still open for RCIP applications in Thunder Bay. So, if you are targeting Thunder Bay, this is what I would recommend. If you're in sales and service, don't apply right now. Wait to see if they reopen in September, or you can try to apply to other sectors that are still open. If you're in other sectors, go ahead and apply now, but move quickly before those spots fill up too. If you're interested in North Bay and areas, then you should do this. Before applying, ask your employer how many RCIP candidates they've already sponsored this year. If they've hit the limit, you will need to find another employer or another community. Don't waste time with an employer that can't help you. Then, very importantly, follow Thunder Bay and North Bay's official RCIP pages. They post updates on their website when sectors reopen. Now, moving on to North Okanagan in British Columbia. This region in BC had such a huge flood of applications in their first intake that they cancelled the July 17 to 31st intake altogether. Hey, God abeg. They have now put in two big restrictions. One, employers in the fast food sectors can no longer use RCIP in that community. And secondly, employers in gas stations are also not eligible to employ anymore. You are wondering why, right? Well, they said these sectors were taking up too many spots, leaving less room for higher priority industries like healthcare, agriculture, and skilled trades. So I'm just wondering, they just cut them off completely because of that? Why didn't you just reduce the numbers rather than just stop it altogether? Well, if you were eyeing this community, this is what I recommend you do. If you have experience in healthcare, farm work, skilled trades, or other in-demand occupations, focus on those. If you don't have necessary work experience, go get it. This is not the time to be arguing. If you only have fast food or gas station experience, you will need to either switch industries or choose another RCIP community where those jobs are still eligible. And please keep an eye out for their next intake dates. They have announced 3 more windows for late 2025. Keep an eye out for them. Now let's look at Sault Ste. Marie in Ontario. Sault Ste. Marie has made 2 important changes as well. Since May 8, 2025, no more dine-in restaurant jobs are being accepted. Also, since June 3, 2025, the cap for security supervisors, that is now 62029, has been filled up, meaning that no more RCIP spots are available for that role. This particular community wants to diversify their workforce and not be overloaded with one or two industries. So I guess that's why they are doing this. So if you were eyeing this community, again, this is what I recommend. If your experience is in food service or security supervision, look at other RCIP communities. If you have skills in manufacturing, tourism, healthcare, or skilled trades, then these sectors are still open and they are worth applying for. So check your work experience and your skill set. Remember, if you have related work experience, you have a shot. And before applying, check Sault Ste. Marie's RCIP site to see if your occupation is still open. Don't go and be applying if they are no longer accepting people with your occupation or people with your skill set. You have to either switch community or switch jobs. Next is Peace Liard in British Columbia. This community became famous in RCIP for one reason. Their intake filled in under 10 minutes on August 1st, 2025. They also paused all employer designation applications in July and they won't accept new ones until November 2025. They are harsh. If you are eyeing this community, this is what to know. If an employer in Peace Liard is not already designated, they can't hire through RCIP until November of 2025 because that is when they start accepting employers again. If you already have a designated employer or any of the designated employers is hiring your skill set, you must be lightning fast, like very fast when the next intake opens. And this is what you should do. Have every document ready well before intake day comes around. Documents like your resume and your cover letter. You should also have your language test and your education credentials done and ready to go. Be online and logged in before the intake opens because in Peace Liard, seconds matter. Fastest fingers first. And please watch their official site and follow them on social media. They sometimes announce extra intakes like they did on August 8th. You must keep your ears on the ground and subscribe here too because I bring you hot updates on the RCIP. Now let's check out what's happening in Claresholm in Alberta. Now, Claresholm made a major change on July 24, 2025, and that change was that they have no more fast food jobs in the RCIP. So if your employer is in the fast food or the limited service restaurant sector, they can't apply to be designated or hire through the program anymore. And this is because fast food was getting too many applications, crowding out other industries that they see as more important for long-term growth of their community. Now, everything I've said so far, am I the only one that is seeing a pattern here? Or can you see it as well? They are being more selective. And I can't imagine how people who are in the affected sectors must be feeling right now. Canada just has a way of disappointing people, but God passed them. So, if you are affected, what you should do is this. If you are targeting Claresholm, focus on healthcare, agriculture, manufacturing, or skilled trades. If your only experience is in fast food, then look at other RCIP communities that still allow you to apply, even though it seems as if many of them are actually stopping taking in fast food service workers. But please remember that Claresholm is small, so the spots go quickly, so don't delay to apply if you're eligible. Timmins in Ontario has done something a bit different. They gave each employer a quota, that is a number of people to apply for each year. So each designated employer can only recommend 20 candidates per year for the RCIP. So if an employer uses up their spots, they are done for that year. I think this is a better way to do it than to just close an entire sector like some of the other communities have done. So what does this mean for you? First of all, always confirm if your employer still has recommendations left for the year before applying to their jobs. Honestly, you don't want to waste time with an employer that cannot help your PR ministry because if they've already used up all their 20 spots, you can't be recommended until the next calendar year. Do you want to take that chance? If you are smart, you can use this cap to your advantage. And the way to do this is to target employers with fewer employees or smaller companies because it may be easier to get in with them than with the big companies who fill their quotas much faster. So in short, target smaller organizations. So guys, one thing about Canada immigration is that you have to act fast. You can imagine being affected by these communities that are closing fast food jobs and other jobs in the program because they have too many applications. RCIP is progressing, and as more updates come, I will continue to keep you updated. Honestly, as we can see, RCIP is one of the fastest ways to get Canadian permanent residency in 2025, but it's also becoming one of the most competitive. You can see that some intakes have been closing in minutes. Some sectors are now even blocked. And almost every community is making adjustments to the way that they run the program because the demand is so much higher than the supply. So pick your community wisely. Make sure your job is eligible there before you start hustling to apply. If you can get into healthcare and you have been dragging your feet, maybe this is the time to stop doing that and start getting the necessary healthcare skills and experience. If you can also get into trades, construction, or any of the other occupations that are in demand in some of these communities, please try and do that. And again, very importantly, prepare in advance. Have all your documents ready before the community that you are eyeing begins to announce their intake. Because in RCIP, the early bird doesn't just get the worm. The early bird gets Canada permanent residency. So make sure that you are among the early bird and please move fast. This is not the time to dull. And most of all, commit your efforts to God. One favor from God can make all the difference in the world for you. And my prayers are with you too. I'll put the links to each community's official RCIP page in the description so that you can check the latest rules directly by yourself. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, share it with someone who is also applying, and subscribe so you don't miss my next update. Now watch this video on the screen next, and I'll see you in the next one.